of May the 4th be with you and Cinco de Mayo, the Derby, all that went down. We are back with our man, Pep. Pep, what's going on with sports?
Hey, Patrick, what is up? It's ironic, even when the Lakers are not in the playoffs, we're talking about the Lakers, they should be in the playoffs or what they're going to look like next season. There's just, obviously a big following for the Lakers, one of the historic franchises in the NBA. It was a crazy couple days after the season ended. They fired their head coach, Darvin Ham. We still don't know what LeBron James's future is going to look like. But going back to the head coaching search, who's it going to be? Who wants the Lakers job? Who would be a good fit to coach LeBron? Maybe he doesn't want to coach. Maybe he should be a player coach. But, Tyronn Lue, his name has popped up. J.J. Redick, I didn't even know he was a coaching candidate. His name's popping up. So I think there's just a lot of question marks right now with the Lakers.
I think with the podcast that LeBron and J.J. Redick have, it's kind of brought up, hey, LeBron's had that podcast to groom his next coach, J.J. Redick. I couldn't imagine Ty Lue leaving the Clippers with what he's got going on there. Not saying it's impossible. He's coached LeBron before, but it seems like that would be a shrewd move, no?
Yeah, you know what? And we'll talk about the Clippers as well in just a moment, but Paul George might leave the Clippers. Kawhi can't stay healthy. The Clippers might not be such an attractive franchise right now. I know they're moving into the new arena, and that's very exciting. They're going to have a new logo, new colors, all that stuff. But it's not what it's not what it was maybe a couple of years ago. So for Ty Lue, maybe he's like, hey, I would love to team up with LeBron again as a coach and try to bring him one more NBA championship. But really, at the end of the day, I feel like the ball is in LeBron's court. LeBron is either going to, A, get the coach that he wants, or B, if they don't, he's like, all right, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go somewhere else and try to chase one more championship.
Could LeBron make the shrewd move like you said on Thursday and go to the Clippers and go to Ty Lue?
Yeah, right? Like, dude, it's a domino effect. We've seen this in the NBA before where guys go on the move and spots open up. So let's say Paul George moves to the 76ers and LeBron James slides right in and, somehow they can keep Kawhi healthy. They still have James Harden, Russell Westbrook, still a good player, not a great player, but still, that's a good team still right now. So, again, if the Clippers want to outshine the Lakers, especially their first year going into the brand new arena in Inglewood, what better way to do that, to take the spotlight away from the Lakers, than to get LeBron James?
I bet you, though, he stays with the Lakers because they're going to let him draft Bronny.
Again, that's why LeBron should just be the GM and the head coach and do everything.
The GM.
Because he wants to make all the calls anyways, right?
So that Big Mac, yes.
Yeah, again, people are saying like, oh, could he really be a player coach? Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's even on the table, but I'm sure LeBron would love to do it. He already is doing it.
Basically, he already is. You're right.
Yeah. So they in fact, I saw on social media there was a list of all the head coaches that LeBron has run out during his career. Yeah. So that list continues to grow. So we'll see who's next with the Lakers. But obviously, I think more hinges on LeBron than what hinges on the next head coach of the Lakers.
Yep.
So we'll see. So the Lakers talk, there you go. The Clippers, they got eliminated by the Dallas Mavericks 4-2. So I feel like they might look a lot different going into next season as well as they go into the new arena. Paul George, again, is being linked to a lot of different teams this offseason, including the Philadelphia 76ers. We saw Kawhi couldn't even limp through the playoffs. He couldn't even get on the floor other than that one time. So I think they have a lot of decisions to make this offseason as well as what they're going to look like. I guess their first thing is just try to keep their head coach, if they want to keep their head coach. And so I think the Lakers and Clippers are kind of in similar spots. They might be in close to rebuild mode.
It really makes me think that the Spurs knew that the knee was bad when they finally did the breakup with Kawhi and why he got so upset. Because it sounds like Kawhi didn't want them to let out that they knew it was a degenerative thing with his knee, which means it's never going to come back.
No, right? You only try to sustain that level or try not to dip too much if it's an injury like that. He's still, when he's healthy, one of the greatest players. In fact, he played, I think, more this year than he has the last couple of years. But, with these superstars, you pay them because you need them when you need them the most, like in the playoffs, in these game 6s and game 7s. You need them out there on the floor coming up big, and Kawhi has just unfortunately not been that guy for the Clippers. I mean, he delivered championships to San Antonio and Toronto, and I even thought, as a Kings fan, that he was going to bring one to the Clippers, but you got to be healthy and team him up with street clothes, you know. All right, sorry, that's Anthony Davis, but Paul George has had that knock too about being injured. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Clippers have some big decisions to make, might go into rebuild mode, and the Lakers might look very similar too. What if the Lakers next season don't have LeBron or a head coach?
Yeah.
What if the Clippers have a new head coach and Kawhi is gone, or Paul George or gone as well? Like, both these teams, I feel like, could look a lot different come next season.
Boy, when it comes to Kawhi, it just makes me think the best ability is availability.
Yeah, that's what they say, right, in the job market, right? You know, some of these people getting hired or getting jobs, it's not because they're maybe the best at their job. They're available. They're always there, you know? So
yeah.
Anyways, man, basketball's crazy. We'll talk more NBA playoffs later in the week with the teams that are actually playing in the NBA playoffs.
Yes.
But I did want to mention the Dodgers, Patrick, this morning. They had a huge series against the Atlanta Braves, probably another National League championship preview, and they swept Atlanta. 3-game sweep. Shohei Ohtani on Sunday had 2 home runs. Now he's tied with Mike Trout, among others, for the Major League Baseball lead in home runs. So that was a huge series for the Dodgers after kind of sputtering the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so it kind of showed we know the Braves are talented. They're young and they're talented. They've had some injuries on the pitching side of it, but nevertheless, it kind of shows that the Dodgers have more muscle, at least right now. We know how baseball can be, but the Dodgers look tough, man. And we'll take it from there, as they say, right? We'll have to see how it goes, but it certainly looks good now.
Yeah, you know, for being the month of May, there's your disclaimer. For being the month of May, it was a big series for the Dodgers and Braves. And for the Dodgers to come out on top with a sweep, Shohei Ohtani showing he's probably the best player in baseball. I think it was a real, signature series so far early on in the season. A statement was made against the Braves.
Yes.
So that's awesome for the Dodgers. And finally here, we never talk enough NASCAR, but man, it was the closest finish ever in NASCAR history on Sunday at Kansas as Kyle Larson beat Chris Buescher by 1/1000th of a second, Patrick. That's how close it was.
Yes, the battle in Kansas. And look at Kyle Larson. He's battled his way back from some PR nightmare stuff. But he's always been a very talented driver, even on whatever track it may be, the super speedway, the shorter track. He seems to be pretty freaking good. And I always know how the Kyles are doing because my son Kyle loves every driver named Kyle. So Kyle Larson seems to do very good.
He is very good. You're right. He's having a bounce back season here on and off the track. And yeah, even with those, they slow down those photo finishes. Dude, it's so hard to call. Like, think about that 1/1000th of a second, man. Even when you slow it down frame by frame, it's so hard to say who actually won. But yeah, Kyle Larson with the checkered flag and the closest finish ever in NASCAR history.
Kyle Larson in the photo finish, just like the Derby this weekend with Mystic Dan winning by a photo finish, which is where the phrase started, the 150th Derby. So congratulations to Mystic Dan. By a nose, as they say. That's where that comes from, too. Pep, a little history right there.
Yeah. Racing horses to racing 4 wheels, right?
Man, it's unbelievable. Pep, we will catch up on your Thursday as the sports develop. We know something's going to happen. Pep, tell me how to get your stuff.
It's always going down at Inland Sports, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel, Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.